We lost a part of ourselves. This is the fight of our lives.
How are you guys planning on beating that?
Together.
Endgame, boys. We are in the Endgame. Well, actually, we're after the Endgame.
See, we watched it like 3 nights ago.
Yeah, so it's the Endgame. There's no Endgame. It's
just over.
It's just over.
It's the post game.
This is the post game conference.
All I can think of is the NFL. I can't think of it now because now I'm only thinking of Final Countdown.
What?
What is it? Hold on.
Na 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 na.
Yeah, there you go.
Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
It's eerie.
Tony Stark said.
Welcome everybody to Talk This Way podcast.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I'm your host Andrew Luttrell, and these are my co-hosts Ethan Russell
Hello, I'm not Bloodshot.
and Brandon Milam.
Hey, what's up, guys?
You were a zombie last night.
I was a zombie, but I'm back. Took a few lines of cocaine, and I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
Yes, we have made it to the final episode of this MCU trilogy. It's a wild ride, man. Like rewatching all of the MCU movies.
Regretting our choices.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it's great.
You did.
We all would have changed our favorites. After rewatching all of these, they would have all been different.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a wild ride, and this just watching Endgame took us so long because this movie's so freaking long. This movie's 3 hours and 2 minutes.
The way
But-
work turned out for me specifically
Yeah.
made it to where we could never watch this movie.
It would
Right.
be like 11. It'd be like 10:30 or 11 at night by the time all of us were home.
We actually had to watch it in the morning the next day.
We
Oh,
did. We did
yes.
watch it in the morning. It was on the weekend.
We got breakfast and then watched the movie.
Got
We
some
went to
Waffle
Waffle
House.
House.
Hey, that's
Great.
how it goes. Waffle House and Endgame.
Shout out
the
Waffle
combo.
House.
Shout out Waffle
Shout out
House.
Waffle House.
Can I get a waffle? Can I please get a waffle?
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Yeah, all right. So let's talk about Endgame.
All right.
So here's the story summary. Ethan, would you mind reading that?
Of course.
It should be on the second page. I actually really like this one. This summary is really, really good.
It's nice and short, so I like
Yes,
that.
Yes.
It's not giving out the whole story
like me.
plot.
Right.
All right. After the devastating events of Avengers Infinity War, 2018, the universe is in ruins due to the efforts of the Mad Titan, Thanos. With the help of remaining allies, the Avengers must assemble once more in order to undo Thanos' actions and undo the chaos of the universe, no matter what the consequences may be in store, and no matter who they face. That's actually pretty lit, bro. I ain't even gonna lie.
I tell you, it's because the directors Joe and Anthony Russo. That's their names, right? Anthony. Yeah.
Yeah.
They sent out at the like as soon as they finished production, #Don't Spoil Endgame, and sent it everywhere. I mean, it was super high trending on Twitter and like all over the place. And companies would be posting it like a part of this thing. So IMDb did it too, and they did it in their story summary.
I'm so happy this movie wasn't spoiled for me.
Yes, no, I am too.
I mean, the
It was
reason why they
close.
did that was because, like, the biggest key points of Endgame were spoiled before the movie came out. Like, there was
Yeah.
a leak
Yeah.
of like those scenes.
Yep.
So like that's why everybody was like #Don't Spoil the Endgame. You know.
The two big scenes at the end of the movie weren't spoiled for me, so I didn't know. I had no clue what was going to happen.
Dude, that's awesome because I
You didn't?
had Infinity War spoiled for me before it.
Ah.
Oh, thanks, Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Right?
You should see this one. Everybody dies. Dude.
Gets really badly.
Wait till you see this next
Leaves
one.
you hard.
Everybody dies.
Dude.
Not everybody. No.
Is that?
No.
Hey, whatever.
Dude, I knew that. I knew that
Oh
going
my
in
gosh.
that was what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I read a little bit. I didn't read like fully in depth. So I was like, well, maybe there's a chance. But no,
Right.
they all died. But I kind of
Yeah.
already knew. So.
I almost had Endgame, or not necessarily as a whole, but like a part of it spoiled. Because as we were walking into the theater room, we're already in the theater itself, but as we're walking into the theater room, somebody was walking out going, man, I knew Captain America was worthy. And I just was like,
Like, no.
damn it!
Dude.
I literally had to shut off my head where I was like, I don't know what that means. I don't want to think about what that means. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't
Everybody
wanna
was
think
doing
about it.
this on my
Yes,
way out.
yes, I was doing that. Oh, it was so bad. It was bad. But anyway,
But dude, that one more thing. That
Yeah, no.
night, opening night, when we all went. We went in the IMAX, like the Dolby, like the biggest, best one that they had at
that
Thoroughbred.
ticket was $25.
It was $25.
I'd pay 30.
Yeah,
I would
dude,
pay $30 to go watch.
It
that
was the
again.
one with like the reclining chairs and like the
surround sound with the subwoofer under your seat.
oh my
So
god!
every time
bro.
Thanos punched, it was.
Dude, it was so good. Like that night was magical. I was thankfully I didn't hear anything spoilery when I went into the theater. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
But which I'm glad about because that would have sucked. If they were like, "Oh man, gosh, Tony Stark, man, that sucks." I would have been like, "No!"
You can talk about it walking out of the theater. Just keep your voice down. These dudes were loud. I mean, they were loud. I'm like, just whisper
Keep that in mind whenever the theaters reopen.
if
If
they reopen.
If they ever do.
Regal already like permanently closed, which doesn't really mean anything because they can just reopen whenever they want to. But they
so indefinitely closed.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they've said. Good thing we've got an AMC down the road and not a Regal. All right.
Rip Regal.
Speaking of movie theaters, the budget for this film was $356 million estimated. It made $357 million opening weekend.
Oh yeah.
So it made
In the
one extra
U.S.
million.
It's literally just in the U.S.
On opening weekend in the U.S. all by itself, it made its budget back. Opening weekend.
I had to park 2 stores over.
Yes.
In
I forget-
Jonathan's
I parked
Grill.
at Chick-fil-A
God.
over because there's a Chick-fil-A like down the street from our movie theater.
Place was hacked, bro.
Oh, it was so bad, bro. It was so bad. And then the gross USA, which is to date, it's made $858 million, and I'm rounding up or down. And then cumulative worldwide gross was $2,797,800,564.
So it made some money.
It
A little
made
bit.
hella cash, bro.
Bro, it made so much more than its budget.
Oh
Like
my
that was
gosh.
such a return on investment. It wasn't even funny.
I am certain everybody that was involved, from all the from the director, actors, everybody, down to the guy that freaking
Got their
like,
coffee.
yes, like the interns got paid hella cash. You know what I'm saying? Like oh my gosh, that movie made so much money. You know what else makes money? This podcast. For you to listen to this ad.
What? Like, how does this make money?
Thank you, sponsor.
It's 2 truths and a lie time.
Boy,
Remember,
can't wait to
let's go.
win.
2 truths, 1 lie. You guys have to guess which one is the lie. There are 5 of them. 5 sets.
Oh.
Nice. So I
Alright.
actually have a chance to
Yes.
get back if I
There-
lose.
There were so many good ones. I am so excited for this. So, all right. The first one. Robert Downey Jr. was the only actor who read the entire script. Number 2. Robert Downey Jr. once told Anthony Russo and Joe Russo about how one of his children said, "I love you 3000" to him. The directors liked that phrase so much that they decided to include it in the film. And then the third one is, during the filming of Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War, the production company catered every meal for the staff. This cost reached to heights of $670,000 in catering food over the 200 days it was being filmed. Which one is the lie?
Does Robert Downey Jr. have kids? Like, I don't.
Yeah, he has kids.
He does have kids?
Oh yeah.
I think so.
I didn't know he had kids.
I actually think it's the third one because I remember hearing both of those somewhere.
Like the first two?
Yeah, the first.
Yeah, I
two.
definitely know number one's true. The one about how he read the entire script.
Yeah. He's the only one.
I kind of agree with Brandon. Like, that's so off topic and so detailed.
But the third
that
one
it's like,
sounds true. Like, I would believe that, but if I hadn't have heard these first two already,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah.
But I ain't gonna piggyback, so I'm gonna do number 2.
Number 2.
Yes.
Locking in.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
Brandon, you locking in number 3?
Yes, sir.
Brandon, you are correct.
Yes.
Hey.
The third one.
Yes.
I cannot believe that made it into the film. Like, I Love You 3000 is such iconic for Endgame. I mean, it was a meme. It was
That
like-
got popular fast.
yes, yes,
Really
and
fast.
it's literally something that one of Robert Downey Jr., the actor who played Iron Man, one of his kids said that to him, and he was able to say it. Like one of his fictional kids in the movie said it to him. Just so sweet, you know.
I heard he was like crying at the premiere,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, and they made fun of him for a while because like he said he wouldn't, or
Yeah.
something like that.
I'm not gonna lie. After rewatching this, I feel like obviously it's an Avengers movie. There's all of them. There's parts and whatnot, but I feel like this could be categorized as like 40 or 50% of an Iron Man movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If you think about it's like not story, but like its heart behind everything. Iron Man was at the center of all of that. You know.
yeah.
So, all right, here's the next set. First one is the jokes about America's ass were apparently the most controversial in the film. It was hotly debated and almost removed from the film entirely. The second one is when Avengers Endgame from 2019 passed Titanic 1997's box office total, James Cameron sent a congratulatory message to Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios on dethroning his film, with a photo of the Avengers A being the iceberg that sinks the Titanic. And then the third one is Evangeline Lilly and Paul Rudd were filming Ant-Man and the Wasp from 2018 and this film at the same time.
Number
Which
1.
one's the lie?
Number 1.
What makes you say that?
It's not that controversial. You know what I mean? Like there's been worse jokes in the MCU. Like
Maybe there
that-
was a different like context on set.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound controversial, but maybe it was for them at the time.
I know
Yeah.
number 2 is right because I heard that. So that's true.
I
And
feel like it's actually number 3.
you think so?
Yeah. I've heard.
They
heard the
film
second
always
one
film
before.
like fucking 4 movies at the same time. Like, so I don't know.
What was it? Keanu Reeves filmed all 3 Matrix movies at once. That was.
I'm
his
going with number
running
1.
joke.
And Bill and Ted 3.
Right.
I'm going with number 1.
And John Wick. You going with number 1 locked in? Okay.
Yeah, I guess we'll go with number 3.
Number 3. Ethan, you are correct.
Yes.
All right,
But
we're
not
even
for the
now.
reason you think. It was a lie in the sense of it was not almost removed from the film entirely, but it was highly controversial.
Huh.
Man, that's one of y'all stupid
know.
ones where you're like,
I was
well,
trying to get
technically it
ya.
wasn't 37,
I
it
was
was
trying to get
38.
But you still got it though.
Yeah.
So, but I couldn't believe that. I was like,
Why?
that was controversial. Like you're talking to me like the feminist thing at the end, at the like fight scene wasn't controversial.
No, that was empowering.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Mhm.
I shouldn't.
You're not a woman, you wouldn't know.
Sorry.
Okay.
Don't cancel me.
Man, they're gonna find this later, 20
Right.
years down the line.
The funny thing is that they're getting empowered by a scene that more than likely a man wrote in. So, sorry guys,
She's not alone.
The boys did it better.
Amen.
the boys did do it better.
Okay, here's the next set. Robert Downey Jr. hid his own personal snacks all over set. The scenes where he's eating snacks and offering them to his co-stars were all improvised. The second one is, in order to truly express what it feels like to go into space, Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, and Jeremy Renner had to go to a space simulator at NASA to prepare for their shots of flying in space.
Man,
And then the third one is, the Russo brothers thought of making 2014 Thanos massacre all the Avengers in another timeline and decapitate Captain America, then bring his decapitated head in the original timeline to taunt the Avengers. However, the thought was considered too violent and was ultimately dropped.
bro, do you know
That
how
would've been
fire
awesome.
that would have been? Oh my goodness.
Dude, that would have been so much more menacing.
I don't know.
But actually, I think that one's true. Because I remember seeing like shots from a deleted scene they never put in of him carrying like Captain America's head.
Dude.
I'm kind of sad they didn't like keep that to an extent, but man,
Dude, I'm telling you right now.
I think it's the second one.
Yeah, I think the second one too. That one sounds kind of bullcrap.
Are you locking in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm okay.
You're both locked in at 2?
Yes,
Mhm.
sir.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. There's no way.
That
They
third
don't
one
care
sounds
that
like,
much.
That third one
Yeah.
sounds like a great alternate ending right there.
I
Yes.
know, I know. I was hoping that you guys would do the first one because, I mean, it's totally Robert Downey Jr.'s character to hide snacks everywhere. But like, just picturing that in my head, like, literally. And this is in this one especially, but it also had like a subcategory, and it said he did that in every movie that he was in, like every Avengers movie, where he
Dang.
hid snacks everywhere. And then literally, like when he's walking around and like Loki comes up and he's like handing him a peanut or something. I can't remember what it was, but that was all improvised. He hid a bag of peanuts underneath the counter. I was
Gosh.
like, bro, you lit, bro.
There you go.
Or like the bag of blueberries that he gave to.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
all improvised. I love it. Okay, here is the next set, and then we have one more set after that. And right now it's tied, I believe, 2-2, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
All right. First one is the quantum suits are entirely created by VFX, which is CGI stuff. And then the second one is opening night tickets were resold on eBay for thousands of dollars, with a pair of IMAX tickets in New Jersey selling for $15,000.
Hell no. Gosh.
And then the third one is there was a game between Chris Hemsworth and Paul Rudd where they hid each other's prop weapons / outfits from one another throughout the film. Which one is the lie?
First one's true. Those two, I'm going back and forth.
Yeah.
Both are kind of. $15,000 seems ridiculous. Like,
Could you imagine spending? I mean, I already think spending $30, like you were saying, is a little much. It'd be worth it, but it's a little much. $15,000
nah, it's number 2.
Yeah.
for an IMAX ticket.
Uh-huh.
That's a lot of money.
The 1 and 3 sound very true, and I don't want to copy Ethan's answer, but 2 sounds like the right answer. But I'm gonna let him have it. I don't want to piggyback, so I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with number 3.
You going
All
number
right.
3?
Yeah.
So
You locked
Ethan,
in?
You're locked in at 2. Brandon's locked in at 3.
Yeah.
Brandon, you are correct.
What?
Seriously?
Yep.
Wow, that was a last minute thing.
Yep. $15,000. Someone bought it. It wasn't like it was on sale. Someone purchased that in New Jersey.
Nah, y'all.
So it wasn't
crazy.
just on sale; they actually bought it.
No, they bought the ticket.
So we're
For
3-3.
$15,000. Here is the last set. First one is after much debate with directors, producers, and writers, when the movie was released, they all came to the conclusion that out of Thor and Captain Marvel is the most powerful. The second one is Chris Hemsworth earned $80 million on this film, making it his highest paying salary to date, and the highest paid actor, beating out Robert Downey Jr. for the first time. And then the third one is the opening Tokyo shot was filmed over 2 nights in Atlanta.
Number 2. Robert Downey Jr. was the highest paid for Endgame.
Yeah, he was always the highest paid.
Mm-hmm. It would have been more truthful, or it would have been more convincing if you didn't put that last part in there, because Robert Downey Jr. is always the top paid person, always. So, but yeah, it's number 2.
I'll go with number 1. I mean, I know it's number 2, but you got to it first. I'll let you have
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna go with number 1.
So you're locking in?
Yeah.
Brandon's right.
No way.
Seriously?
How?
Chris Hemsworth got paid more than Robert Downey Jr.
For Endgame?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds kind of baloney.
I could have swear he made like $90 million off this movie.
Now, he might have not gotten paid as much outright, but he got paid like a cut of the ticket sales, which way went over $80 million. So maybe he didn't get paid $80 million outright from a check, but ticket sales that he got commission-wise was more than $80,000. So I think I'm pretty sure he got more than Chris Hemsworth in the end, but maybe like full-on getting paid for the role, then yeah, maybe Chris Hemsworth got
Maybe,
more.
I don't know. All I know is that IMDb said that Chris Hemsworth was the surpassed Robert Downey Jr. for being the highest paid actor.
Yeah.
For the first time. This is the first time ever that it happened, and it was only for this film. So I don't know. You can do your research at home if you want.
Oh, I will.
And you too. All right. So this next segment is called Ask Us Anything. Through the link in the description, you can record your own question for us, and we will answer it right on the show. It helps us get to know. It helps you get to know us, and for us to have a little bit of fun with you guys. So follow the link in the description and record your question. Unfortunately, we don't have a question this week because
great.
I mean, we were behind,
Ah.
so we didn't really get a chance to advertise it.
Yeah.
Which is okay. So for the next trilogy, which we're about to announce, or not next trilogy, but for the next episode, record your question and submit it, and we'll answer it. Our next episode is a one-off, and it's Halloween coming up. So we're doing a horror movie favorites in one episode. Ethan, Brandon, and I all chose our favorite horror movies, and we're going to watch all three of them and do an episode combining all of them into one.
Because we don't got time for a trilogy.
Right. Halloween's one day, people. It's going to be jam-packed with spooky stories and some fun games, as well as some epic giveaways. Speaking of giveaways, I was going to do a Instagram Live thing on this episode, but because of programming and some technical issues, that couldn't happen.
Thanks,
So-
Instagram.
Right. So instead, I'm going to give one listener a free T-shirt of this listener of this episode. Just DM me on Instagram at talk_this_way_podcast and say this magic word. The director fell out of his chair. First person to message me to DM me that gets free T-shirt. Guys, if you could rate this movie
95 Fat Thors.
1 out of 100 Fat Thors, how many would it be?
95 out of 100 Fat Thors.
That is some fat ass Thors.
Dude, that's a thick Thor. That's
That's a
thick
thick
with
Thor.
2 C's, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
But yeah, it's my favorite MCU film behind the original Iron Man.
Mhm.
So, but it is definitely my second favorite MCU film
Oh yeah,
of all time.
I loved it.
I mean, I haven't been. Did I even rate Doctor Strange last time?
I think so. I think you gave it a 78 or 79.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Oh, I mean, this is up there. I gotta say, probably like 93 Fat Thors
Mhm.
out of 100 Fat Thors.
Good.
Nice. So what was your number?
95.
95, 93? I'm going 94.
Nice.
Nice.
Really, really, really good. The problems that I have with it are personal problems, so we're just ruling them out. It was a fantastic film, well produced, well edited, well choreographed, well written, well acted. Everything was amazing. So, again, the faults that were in it were personal opinions and don't matter.
Hey.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes.
She's attacked. Rotten Tomatoes. Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't mind like touching on that for a second.
I mean, it just it's the politics that's in pretty much every movie nowadays, and then it's also the corniness, which most people enjoyed. I mean, everybody loves the corniness and the fan service, I guess, and that's
Yeah.
fine. You guys, it's not a problem to like that. You're not wrong for liking that. I
Mhm.
personally don't, so.
Mhm.
But
I think I didn't know what you meant, like, because you said like before that scene happened.
Yeah.
But after seeing it, I was like, okay, that's what he meant, because it wasn't this whole scene in particular.
right.
It
Yeah.
was the little bits of like banter.
Yeah.
That completely takes away from
Yeah.
the epicness of it, I guess.
That's just how I feel.
And
you
then
know?
and then that.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about that.
We're not going to talk about it, not because this is not an admission of guilt. I'm just tired.
Talking about a movie no one has seen because it's
Right.
It's alright. I've seen it.
it's pretty good.
So, before we finish, I just want to announce the trilogy. Not trilogy. I keep saying that. The one-off that we're doing for the horror movies. Have you chosen yours completely yet, or do you still need some more time?
Yes,
You have.
I
Okay.
have.
Well, then
Oh.
let's just go from our left to right. So Ethan, you go first. What movie did you choose as a horror movie favorite? It doesn't have to be your all-time favorite, just a favorite, because it's Halloween.
I am going to pick the Invisible Man, the 2019 version, not the 1933 version, not that one.
Is that one black and white?
Oh yeah, fam. That's like one of the first horror movies like ever.
Did that come out with Psycho?
I think it may have been older than Psycho.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I could
Psycho
be
was like
wrong.
1950s.
Dang.
Psycho was
No,
in the
you're right.
60s, but I think
You're
Invisible
right.
Man may have been 50s.
No, Invisible Man was 1933.
What?
Mhm.
Yo.
I was not joking when I said that. 1933, bro.
Ooh.
It is an old movie.
That makes it almost 90 years old,
Mhm.
right? Am I? Nah,
No,
close.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's 2020. So
Yeah,
that's
it's like almost 90 years old.
Oh, man.
That's getting rough.
Jeez. And that's right in the peak of like the Great Depression.
Mhm.
Everybody wanted to be an invisible man.
They could escape their problems.
I still want to be an
Yeah,
Invisible
right.
Man.
Dang, I am invisible.
But the new one looks really cool.
Yeah, I haven't.
Not gonna
I don't think
lie.
I've seen. I might have seen like images of it, but I haven't seen a trailer or anything for it yet. So we'll have to watch it after this.
I think I wanted to see it, but Corona happened,
Oh yeah.
and the
Mhm.
theater said no.
No, we're not giving you Corona. We don't want Corona. Get out.
But yeah,
okay.
fam.
That's awesome. So yeah, we'll watch that one, and then my choice is one of my favorite, I guess, slasher. Would you call it a slasher film? It's a classic horror
Yes.
movie, but it's the remake of a classic horror
It's
movie.
the definition of a slasher movie.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's the Friday the 13th remake, specifically the
go.
unrated version.
I haven't
Mhm.
seen this one.
So I love it.
It's
It's
good.
got Sam Winchester from Supernatural in it. It's got a couple female actresses. Let's go with that. And then
Totally don't have another line of work outside of acting.
Nope. Anyway, so I love the movie. Aside from that, I love the movie for like the the classic, horror character as Jason
course.
Voorhees. I just love that story.
I just love it when a tortured boy's mom gets killed by some camp counselors, and then he comes back and just murders all of them.
Yeah.
That is my favorite.
Kill for mommy.
Yeah, it just really like it. That's what I listened to when I took myself in at night. It's just the screams.
Oh, that's my time to go. I'm not wanting to
Maybe,
be murdered tonight.
You might get evicted.
I might, but if that was the thing I got evicted for, I would be surprised because there's been
Right.
worse.
I would kill you.
Believe me, you wouldn't get the chance. Brandon,
Yes.
what is yours?
Okay, so like we had this conversation prior to this episode, and you mentioned the Friday the 13th. That you wanted to pick that one. So
Yeah.
before you said that, I was gonna pick the 2018 remake of Halloween because
Film.
Michael Myers is my boy.
Mhm.
Mm.
But I decided to go against that because it's another slasher. I wanted to mix it up, so I'm going with Jordan Peele's Get Out.
Mm.
That's a good film.
Dude, I'm telling
I
you.
saw a
bro.
trailer for that when I was a kid. Well, it wasn't that long ago.
I was gonna say
it's like 2 years ago.
he's of age, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I saw it with my parents because they aren't typically into horror movies, but they thought they would be genuinely scary. So
It's a thriller.
that.
I would say it's more on the thriller side, but it's still definitely horror. Like it is scary, it's gory, like all that good stuff. You know?
so unsettling
Yes.
in every way.
I love it. Jordan Peele did a really, really good job. He went
yeah.
a little bit down when he made Us. Fight Me.
So not terrible.
Not terrible,
that movie.
but Get Out was way better.
It's had better twists, so I'll
Yes,
definitely say
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, tune in for that. Basically, it'll just be a combination of all three movies as far as like the trivia, the summaries, and the budgets and all that kind of stuff. So,
Heck yeah.
Thank you guys for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube and ring that bell. If you're on Apple Podcasts, be sure to give us a review. And if you're on Spotify, share to Instagram. You can share right with your story through the Spotify app, and it'll give other people a chance to listen. So,
Heck yeah.
yeah, thank you all for your support, and we will see you guys in the next episode.
See you later.
I am Groot!
And for someone who wears glasses, you definitely didn't have to wear glasses.
3D screen.
Definitely didn't get
That Venom.